Good evening and welcome to Tok Piksa. In the lead up to next month's Pacific Games, Papua New Guinea has been focused on the readiness of venues, our gold medal prospects, and of course the state of our country's health standards. National Capital District Governor Powes Pakop this year ramped up his drive to ensure Port Moresby city residents made the change to a healthier lifestyle. He started a weekly morning walk, which he called Walk for Life. Thousands of city residents have already become active participants in the Sunday morning campaign. And as fate may have it, this month saw the commemorating of the first ever International Day of Yoga on June 21st. Yoga, which is now spread out to the masses in PNG, has been recognized by the United Nations as a way for people and whole countries to lead healthier lives. To mark the day, Governor Pakop's Walk for Life partnered with the Indian High Commission and PNG Indian Association to put on yoga displays and provide more awareness of the form. In the 69th session of the United Nations General Assembly, a resolution was adopted observing the 21st of June 2015 as the International Day of Yoga. The UN General Assembly noted the importance of individuals and populations making healthier choices and following lifestyle patterns that foster good health, and it recognized that yoga provides a holistic approach to health and well-being.
We're here to celebrate the first ever International Day of Yoga. This was proclaimed the 21st of June as the International Day of Yoga by the UN General Assembly, Resolution 69131. Yoga has been recognized to have holistic benefits for the health and well-being of citizens throughout the world, regardless of race, gender, religion, ethnicity, strength, age, or ability of a person. It is a holistic practice.
To commemorate this day in PNG, on Sunday, thousands of city residents, many of whom were regular participants of National Capital District Governor Powes Pakop's healthy lifestyle campaign, Walk for Life, joined hundreds of yoga fanatics on a walk from Moresby Northeast to Ella Beach. The NCD governor's push to improve the lives of his city residents was initially a private passion, and his Sunday Walk for Life following now has the added benefit of learning yoga. The morning events were organized and led by the Indian High Commission to PNG, led by the High Commissioner himself, Madhava Chandra, and the Indian Association of PNG, along with Governor Pakop and Yoga Unites PNG, the lead yoga practitioners group in the country.
I was there at the Jack Piddick Park at 4:30 in the morning and I walked the whole distance. It's a tremendous feeling you have, and all the exciting faces which I saw, and the excitement level in fact has been building up in Port Moresby since 11 December 2014 when the International Day of Yoga resolution was passed. Well, yoga benefits you in lots of ways. It's not a simple exercise. In fact, it's not an exercise at all. It is how you look at mind, body and soul. It brings about mental peace. It brings about harmony between mind and body and soul. And as you know, human beings live basically at three levels, the physical, the mental and the spiritual. And it is at the mental level that the real conflict between good and evil occurs. What yoga does is it builds reservoirs of mental stamina, of spiritual strength. Here I don't mean spiritual in the religious sense, because yoga is basically apolitical and it's a-religious. I mean purely from the point of well-being. Well, the importance of this day is it happens to be the longest day of the year, but from the historic point of view, 21st June 2015 is the first time that the International Day of Yoga is being observed in 192 capitals of the world, and I'm sure after this it will become a regular feature.
Whilst having a day dedicated to yoga may be a new thing, practicing the form is already quite widespread in the country.
Means peace and harmony in the world, in the society, between individuals, in every strata of society, in every country. It means the unison of mind, body and soul.
Founder of Yoga Unites PNG, Fazila Bazari, is passionate about using yoga to change the lives of people from all walks of life.
Transformative and rehabilitative value of yoga, when used effectively and efficiently, can actually bring tremendous change to lifestyle, to mindset, to behaviors. And when these things begin to be affected and change, we will create this harmony and this unity and peace that we are all longing for. So as such, Papua New Guinea being Papua New Guinea, we started a program of youth empowerment and transformation with CPL Group in 2012. So our aim is to use yoga as a tool to bring about behavior change and social change amongst the young people in Papua New Guinea. The program identified different settlements, different schools and education centers to give this yoga program, and we collected data, the status that they were before and the status they were after, so that we have a little bit of a study of how yoga can change life. So over the 2 years period, we actually worked with street children, with Bomana inmates, we worked with youth in the Paga Hill settlement, and we worked with Port Moresby Technical College and the De La Salle School. We wanted to work with different sort of youth so that we can have different models of the world during our classes. And we wanted to see how different youth with different background, privileges, education level, and also upbringing, when interact together, how can they influence each other? And yoga was the medium or the link that we used. Yoga, when I say yoga, it has many different components. It starts with a physical movement and a physical practice, like an exercise practice that we do. It has a component where we do breathing exercises, meditation, and one of those things is relaxation. When this too is done in an efficiently tailored program by a qualified and trained yoga teacher, what a student would experience at the end of the class would be a state of, feeling of peace, relax, harmony, non-judgment and non-difference between who my neighbor is. It is just this one breath, this oneness, this one practice, and moving in a sequence that has been designed, by the teacher. So over a period of time, what we, from many people that we worked with, most of them decided to go back to school, and we managed to train 4 teachers to become yoga teachers. So I'm proud to say that we have national Papua New Guinean teachers here in Papua New Guinea who are actually sharing this change or how yoga has changed their life, and actually acting as sort of advocates or agents of change back in their community. Yoga has come into Papua New Guinea in a very gradual, slow way, but it has just taken a life of its own.
Yoga Unites PNG has also taken yoga into the settlements of Port Moresby, and surprisingly enough, to the juvenile prisoners at the Bomana Correctional Services Center. And yoga has now given inmates at the juvenile section a fresh outlook on life.
But since when yoga was introduced in Bomana Correctional Service in 2013 by Alan Mogarima, the yoga teacher, and Miss Fazila Bazari, that rehabilitation program changed our mindset as prisoners and mend our life back, giving us a second chance in life.
Yoga and its health benefits have been proven to give more to practitioners than just physical health. Its mental and spiritual attributes are able to provide those using it a taste of peace and respect for themselves and their fellow men and women, something that cannot be taught and only learned through self-discovery. Welcome back to Tok Piksa. Elected members of the 3rd Bougainville House of Representatives will be the mouthpiece for referendum. Their role will pave the way forward that will grant Bougainville full autonomy and independence. In this next Tok Piksa segment, our journalist Fabian Hakalitz takes a look at the expectations placed on Bougainville's newly elected House of Representatives.
In 2005, first members of the Bougainville House of Representatives were sworn in, office bearers of the first autonomous government of the independent state of Papua New Guinea. 10 years after, it's now the window period that begins the check and balance process if the autonomous Bougainville government is prepared for independence. On June 15, Deputy Prime Minister Grand Chief Leo Dion led the delegation to witness formalities, swearing in of the elected members of the 3rd Bougainville House of Representatives. Accompanying the Deputy Prime Minister were some of the nation's founding fathers, Grand Chief Sir Michael Sumara, Sir Rabi Namaliu and Sir John Caputin. 40 elected took their oath, witnessed by Chief Justice Sir Salamo Injia. This includes the new Speaker Simon Pantano, who ousted his predecessor Andrew Miriki.
As Speaker, my role and responsibility is to equip and serve you to the best to perform your principal roles as legislators, as decision makers, in your role as service providers.
According to President-Chief Dr. John Momis, although many challenges, still many have been achieved in the last 10 years. Unification of Bougainvillians through reconciliation, improving welfare of Bougainvillians by promoting appropriate economic development, securing Bougainville's future by full implementation of the peace agreement by achieving full autonomy, preparing for referendum and achieving complete weapons disposal, promoting good governance and rule of law and ending corruption, public awareness and improve basic services. All this a signpost for the Bougainville Peace Agreement provisions to be fully honored by the national government.
Aspects of the autonomy arrangements have not been fully implemented. The Restoration Development Grant arrears is one example. Another is failure to appoint the ABG choice of head of the police in Bougainville. The agreement requires appointment of the ABG nominee as ACP, something that the police commissioner has not ever done. With these and other serious problem areas, the key leaders and officers involved are often not aware what the agreement requires. So the ABG will seek a better understanding so that the agreement is implemented in full.
Momis pointed out the need for more coordinated planning of use of fiscal resources of the autonomous Bougainville and national governments, donors and members of parliament. Grand Chief Dion said third ABG House marks a significant step forward in the implementation of the Bougainville Peace Agreement to achieve results and for stakeholders to continue support and maintain peace.
And as we prepare for the referendum, we need to work together to ensure that we must create a conducive environment within which all Bougainvillians can exercise their guaranteed right to decide on their future.
Grand Chief Sir Michael Sumare was proud to celebrate with Bougainvillians the achievement 10 years after the inauguration in 2005 as he was involved with Bougainville issues. Sir Michael congratulated the autonomous Bougainville government for setting the precedents following democratic and government processes like the successful conduct of its general election.
Very proud of the fact, because I have been also involved with you in the Bougainville issue. It's all gone now. It's a water under the bridge. Forget it. Let's work for Bougainville tomorrow. Future Bougainville, future children of Bougainville.
The Bougainville president, during the appointment of ministers into the Bougainville Executive Council, said he has confidence in the current government. Next task is to revitalize the Bougainville public service to ensure it's effective and efficient. North Bougainville Women Representative and Deputy Speaker Francisca Semoso, in an exclusive interview, told EMTV to prepare Bougainville for referendum, disciplinary measures will be put in place for members of the House.
Just making sure that everybody knows what they're doing. Making sure that everybody knows that this is not where they belong. Meaning that this is where your parliament is, but you're not supposed to be spending all your time in Buka. This is only an administration area. You come here, you seek help from the clerk, from the speaker, from the deputy speaker, and you go back to your constituency, you go back to your regions, and you work with your people. Now, I don't want to be seeing members of the autonomous government living in Buka. This is not where your constituency is. You come to get help here, make sure everything is okay with you, then you can go back to where you live. Go back to where your constituency is.
Josephine Getty has created history as the first woman to win a constituency seat of the Bougainville House of Representatives. The new member for Pate constituency seat and Community Development Minister. As an educationist, she believes in education as the catalyst for change, a priority to be invested on by the autonomous Bougainville government.
Economics, maybe to try and raise the standard in making smaller families or individuals encourage some kind of activities like agriculture and small-scale business, that people could run small businesses in their society or in families, and with agriculture encourage cocoa, knowing that cocoa is the main cash crop in our
You're watching Tok Piksa. While the Melanesian Spearhead Group meeting convened in Honiara, Solomon Islands this week, our national flag carrier, Air Niugini, opened flight services into another of our Melanesian wantoks, Vanuatu. This service will save cost for passengers wanting to fly directly to Papua New Guinea, all within one day. The first commercial flight was on Wednesday this week to Port Vila. On that flight was our reporter, Fabian Hakalitz.
Good evening and welcome to Tok Piksa, all the way from Port Vila in Vanuatu. I'm Fabian Hakelitz. In this Tok Piksa, we're going to look at Air Niugini's first commercial flight into Port Vila under the Melanesian Spirit Group Agreement, and also Vanuatu is a tourism spot in the Pacific. On Wednesday, June 24 this year, national flag carrier Air Niugini operated its first commercial flight into Port Vila. It was mixed feeling for those on board, including those who waited for the aircraft Alpha November Quebec at Port Vila as the bird of paradise touched down at Port Vila. National flag carrier Air Niugini on Wednesday, June 24, made its maiden commercial flight into Vanuatu's capital, Port Vila. A close to 4 hours flight on Fokker 100 aircraft from Jackson's International Airport, Port Moresby, 2 hours flight to Honiara Solomon Islands, and another 2 hours 15 minutes to Port Vila, Vanuatu. A joining passenger from Honiara was also on the first commercial flight into Port Vila. Then imagine taking Papua New Guinea's national flag carrier to another country. The patriotism in you, mixed feeling. Alpha November Quebec descended at Vanuatu, and once it touched down, to my left I saw the cabin crew too, Catherine Daniel shedding tears. ANQ was given a washdown on its arrival at Port Vila International Airport. A big welcome at the airport by airline workers. Even passengers who disembarked from other aircrafts, who took a glimpse and photographs of the big bird of paradise. The Papua New Guinea community in Vanuatu, led by Shabdi Mission Consul Elin Nganga, surprised the delegation. A small but significant ceremony for welcoming visitors, Salu Salu, where a cloth called Lava Lava or Lap Lap is fastened around the waist or hung around the neck. Gideon Ronoleo, a local chief of Toba, the province that adopted PNG under the Melanesian Spirit Group arrangement, said the first flight strengthened solidarity as true people of Melanesia.
We became one big milestone between Yumilo and Papua New Guinea. Where now we are Papua New Guinea, Solomon, Vanuatu, become very, very close together.
It was mixed feeling when Papua New Guinea's national flag carrier Air Niugini touched down here in Port Vila, Vanuatu on its first commercial flight. For some it was excitement, while others openly expressed tears of joy. The PNG community in Vanuatu was very excited because this service will save cost, enabling frequent visits into Papua New Guinea. They thanked the PNG national government for the initiative.
Taking our flights from here to Brisbane, we have to overnight and spend a lot of money with the hotels there. But now it is very easy for us to see our own plane and our own people to fly back with our plane. And thank you for Papua New Guinea government.
Man, me like dance, me like skalaf, me like sing, me talk about Mary, me play to sing ma, sing, me play welcome, me talk, am I right? But I got time long, so me a must to must. Me looking my flag, go say, bedo paradise, me touchdown lo place here. Me a must to must.
Romila Boy comes from a mixed parentage of Papua New Guinea and Vanuatu. Her mother from Manus and Morobe, while the father is from Vanuatu. Air Niugini's arrival into Port Vila is homecoming and an opportunity because she will access the service to visit her family in PNG.
This is a good opportunity because mi fla ol yang fla like pantilo mi fla no go back lo home lo or mommy or daddy blo mi fla. So this is very we're very happy, very grateful, and we're exciting, and yeah, almost homecoming here, and yeah, we're looking forward to go over and see all families and friends. Thank you, Thomas.
It will go down on history books for the operating crew who brought the bird of paradise into Port Vila under the command of Captain Vincent Tongia.
For the first time being a part of this crew and landing into Port Vila, it was like, I was very excited and also looking forward to it. when the aircraft touched down, and then when they did the washdown, it was something like the patriotism in me. I was very happy to bring the flag carrier of our country to Port Vila, and also at the same time I was very proud that I was part of the operating crew to come here. So I'm very happy, excited, yeah. Did you cry? I think I did, yes. I just shed a bit of tears, but yeah, I'm very happy. It was tears of joy.
This first commercial flight begins the weekly service into Port Vila. According to Air Niugini's General Manager, Customers and Markets, Dominic Kaumu, flight departs Port Moresby on Wednesday morning through Honiara and overnights Port Vila, returning on Thursday. The fourth service between PNG and Solomon Islands.
This first flight to Vanuatu now adds to the destinations within the MSG group of countries. That is Fiji, Solomon Islands, and Vanuatu. As you're aware, this is actually in the true spirit of Melanesian spearhead ideals of about what the government's been talking about as well. And we at Air Niugini are doing our share in actually enabling our people within the MSG region to travel. And not only people traveling, but movement of freight and cargo between the countries as well.
This first commercial flight into Vanuatu is part of Air Niugini's plan to bridge Southwest Pacific to Southeast Asia through Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea.
Please come and visit Vanuatu. It's very similar to Papua New Guinea. You don't need a visa. You don't have to line up in the queues for getting a visa, and it doesn't cost you anything. Take your passport, come to Port Vila, and they'll give you entrance on arrival at the airport.
The new flight was made possible under the tripartite code-share arrangement between Air Vanuatu and Solomon Airlines.
Vanuatu is very big in tourism. That's their biggest industry. And there's a lot that we could learn from Vanuatu as well. And on the same token, they can also learn from us as well. And I do encourage our corporate sector, our SMEs to come and visit Vanuatu, because there is potential in Vanuatu. As you know, Vanuatu was hit recently with the cyclone, so there's a rebuilding exercise happening as well. So I think there's a lot that we share in common, and there's a lot that we can do in common together as Melanesian countries.
That's all we have for you tonight on Tok Piksa. We have the Pacific Games opening at the end of this week, and for the duration of the Games, Tok Piksa will be on recess. But we'll be back with our first show straight after the Games on Sunday, July 19th. We'll see you then. Good night.
People have blocked that down.